Finch had grown accustomed to the shadow that followed him everywhere. For 3 years, Princess Frozen had been his silent companion, moving through Earth's cities like a ghost wrapped in human skin. She never spoke, she never questioned, she simply existed 2 steps behind him, her luminescent purple eyes, tracking his every movement with an intensity that made strangers uncomfortable. He first encountered her on a rainy Tuesday in Seattle, collapsed behind a dumpster near Pike Place Market. Her silver blood pooled around her like mercury, and her skin pale as moonlight and faintly iridescent marked her as something decidedly not human. Finch, a former paramedic turned coffee shop manager, had seen enough strange things in his life to know when to ask questions and when to simply act. He chose action, dragging her unconscious form into his apartment before anyone could see. When she awoke 3 days later, she stared at him with those impossible eyes and said nothing. He offered her food, water, clothes, everything met with silent acceptance. She learned English by listening to his television, his conversations, the rhythm of human life. But she never contributed a single word. The government came looking once, men in black suits with questions Finch couldn't answer honestly. Frozen hid in his closet, so still she might have been a statue, and somehow they missed her. After they left, she emerged and placed one pale hand on his chest, directly over his heart. It was the first time she'd touched him. He understood it was gratitude. Months became years. Frozen learned to blend in, wearing hoodies that covered her unusual skin, colored contacts that masked her alien eyes. She got a job at the bookstore down the street, shelving books in perfect alphabetical order with mechanical precision. The owner, Mrs. Chen, thought she was shy. Customers found her mysterious. No one suspected the truth. Finch dated occasionally. Each relationship ended when the woman discovered Frozen's constant presence. It's weird, his last girlfriend had said. She's always there, watching. It's like she's guarding you or something. He couldn't explain that. Maybe she was, or that he'd grown so used to her presence that her absence would feel like losing a limb. He'd tried asking why she stayed, why she never spoke, why she'd chosen him of all people to attach herself to. She would only look at him with those ancient, sorrowful eyes and turn away. Sometimes, late at night, he'd hear her crying softly in the spare room. He never intruded on her grief. Then came the autumn evening that changed everything. Finch was closing up his coffee shop, wiping down the espresso machine while Frozen swept the floors with her characteristic thoroughness. The news played on the small television in the corner, breaking reports of lights in the sky. Unidentified crafts hovering over major cities worldwide. The footage showed ships that gleamed with the same iridescent quality as Frozen skin. "They've come for you," Finch said quietly, not really expecting a response. The sweeping stopped. He turned to find Frozen standing rigid, the broom clutched in her pale hands so tightly he thought it might snap. Her whole body trembled. "You should go," he continued, gentler now. "If they're your people, you should know." The single word dropped into the silence like a stone into still water. Finch froze, the cloth in his hand forgotten. In 3 years, it was the first word she'd spoken to him. Frozen's voice was like wind chimes, musical and strange, carrying harmonics no human throat could produce. She set down the broom with deliberate care and turned to face him fully, tears silver like her blood-traced lines down her cheeks. "They will kill you if I return," she said, and suddenly the floodgates opened. 3 years of silence broke apart. "You saved me when I crashed. You healed me. You protected me. In my world, that creates a soul bond, an eternal death that cannot be broken. But my father, the Emperor, forbade any interaction with humans. He ordered Earth's destruction years ago. I was sent to scout, to ensure no intelligent life existed here." Finch's legs felt weak. He leaned against the counter. "But you found us." "I found you," she corrected, stepping closer. "I falsified my reports. I told them Earth was barren, lifeless. My father accepted the lie. But my absence has been noticed. My siblings search for me. When they find me, when they learn what I've done, they will execute you for binding me. Humans are considered pests, worthy only of extermination. So you stayed silent to protect me." Frozen nodded, more silver tears falling. "If I spoke to you, truly spoke, the bond would deepen. I would claim you as family in their eyes, which would make your death certain. Silence was the only way to keep the bond, ambiguous, incomplete." "But you're speaking now," Finch whispered. She smiled then, sad and beautiful and terribly final. "Because they're here. Because silence no longer matters. Because I have avoided for 3 years the one sentence I needed to say." She stepped forward, placed both hands on either side of his face, her skin cool against his. Finch of Earth, I claim you as bloodbound, soul-sworn, eternal kin before the stars themselves. Let them come, let them try to take you. I am Frozen, crown princess of Zythera, and I will burn worlds before I let them harm you. Outside, the ships descended. Inside, Finch understood that his silent shadow had always been his fiercest protector, and for the first time in 3 years, he heard her laugh bright and wild and ready for war. So, he said, grabbing his baseball bat from behind the counter, do alien princesses accept backup from coffee shop managers? Frozen's smile turned razor. Always together, they walked out to meet the ships, neither of them silent anymore.